Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're embarking on a virtual expedition to the roof of the world, Mount Everest. For decades, this colossal peak has captured our imaginations, symbolizing the ultimate human challenge. But how much do we really know about this legendary mountain? You might be surprised to learn that some of the most common facts about Everest are actually misconceptions. So, grab your gear, because we're about to debunk some myths and uncover the incredible truths about the world's most famous mountain. Let's start with the big one. Is Mount Everest truly the tallest mountain on Earth? Well, it depends on how you measure it. If we're talking about height above sea level, then yes, at a staggering 8,848 meters, or over 29,000 feet, Everest is the undisputed king. Its summit is the highest point on the Earth's surface, reaching further into the atmosphere than any other landmass. This is the measurement everyone knows and the reason climbers from all corners of the globe are drawn to its treacherous slopes. However, if we change our perspective and measure a mountain from its base to its peak, a different champion emerges. Deep in the Pacific Ocean lies Mauna Kea in Hawaii. While its peak is only about 4,207 meters above sea level, a massive portion of the volcano is submerged underwater. If you measure it from its true base on the ocean floor, Mauna Kea stands over 10,000 meters tall, making it technically taller than Everest. So, while you can stand on the highest point on Earth at Everest's summit, Mauna Kea holds the title for the tallest mountain from base to top. It's a fascinating bit of geographical trivia that shows how perspective changes everything. Now, here's something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. Mount Everest is still growing. It's not a static, unchanging rock. It's a dynamic part of our planet's geology. The mountain sits on the boundary of the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. These colossal plates are constantly crashing into each other. The Indian plate is pushing northward, sliding under the Eurasian plate, and this immense geological pressure is forcing the Himalayas, including Everest, to rise higher. Scientists have been measuring this growth for years, and the data is incredible. On average, Everest grows about 1 to 4 millimeters taller every single year. It might not sound like much, but over geological time, it adds up. Think about it. The mountain you see today is slightly taller than the one Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay first summited in 1953. This constant slow-motion uplift is a powerful reminder that our planet is alive and always changing, even its most iconic features. Let's talk about its name. To most of the world, it's Mount Everest. It sounds grand and historic, but surprisingly, this name has no local roots. It's a colonial legacy. In 1865, the Royal Geographical Society named the peak after Sir George Everest, a Welsh surveyor who was the British Surveyor General of India. What's ironic is that Sir George Everest himself never actually saw the mountain and even preferred that local names be used for geographical features. So, what do the people who have lived in its shadow for centuries call it? In Nepal, the mountain is known as This beautiful name translates to goddess of the sky or forehead in the sky. It's a name that perfectly captures the mountain's majestic presence, piercing the clouds. On the other side of the border, in Tibet, it is called Chamalungma, which means Holy Mother or Mother Goddess of the Universe. Both names reflect a deep spiritual connection and reverence for the mountain, viewing it not just as a physical object, but as a sacred entity. It makes you think about how names shape our perception and the stories they carry. When you imagine the summit of Everest, you probably picture biting winds and unimaginably cold temperatures. And you'd be right. It's one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. Temperatures on the summit can plummet to minus 60 degrees Celsius or minus 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Combined with hurricane-force winds, the wind chill can make it feel even colder. Surviving these conditions is a monumental feat of human endurance. However, Mount Everest is not the coldest place on our planet, not even close. That chilling distinction belongs to Antarctica. The Vostok Station in Antarctica holds the record for the lowest temperature ever recorded on Earth, a mind-numbing minus 89.2 degrees Celsius, or minus 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So, while climbing Everest means facing extreme life-threatening cold, the polar regions experience a level of cold that is truly in a league of its own. It's another great example of how extremes are relative. Everest's cold is deadly for climbers, but on a planetary scale, there are even colder frontiers. This last point is a somber and difficult one, but it's a crucial part of Everest's story. The dream of reaching the summit comes with immense risk. Sadly, not everyone who attempts the climb makes it back down. Over 300 climbers have lost their lives on Everest's slopes, and the mountain has become a vertical graveyard. The death zone, the area above 8,000 meters, is particularly perilous. The air is too thin to sustain human life for long, judgment is impaired, and physical exhaustion is extreme. Recovering a body from this altitude is incredibly dangerous, difficult, and expensive. It requires a team of at least 8 to 10 experienced Sherpas, risking their own lives in the process. Because of these challenges, many of those who perish on the mountain are left where they fall. Over time, some of these fallen climbers have become grim landmarks, known to others who pass by on their ascent. One of the most famous was a climber nicknamed Green Boots, whose body lay in a cave for nearly 20 years and served as a marker for others. It's as a stark and tragic reminder of the ultimate price some have paid to chase their dream, and the profound respect we must have for the power of the mountain. If you or someone you know is struggling, remember that help is available and you are not alone. Reaching out is a sign of strength. So, from a growing giant with multiple names to its tragic human cost, Mount Everest is so much more than just the world's highest peak. It's a place of science, spirituality, and immense human drama. It challenges our definitions, pushes our limits, and demands our respect. It teaches us about geology, history, and the unbreakable spirit of adventure, but also about the fragility of life. What do you find most fascinating about Mount Everest? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey today. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more adventures. Until next time, stay curious.